Welcome, everybody. We are live. For those watching the recording, we'll start in 4 to 5 minutes, so you can skip ahead. Give everybody a few moments to get in. For those who are in here, let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Get everything situated while we wait. Whoever did not make money today, I have no idea how you did not do that. Hey, Gerald, welcome. Whoever was actually shorting today probably got absolutely decimated. Take any trades today, Gerald? Let's bring this up. Hey, Zayas, welcome. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. Just one trade, didn't have much time with work. Hey, I took one trade too, so you and I are on the same page, which is fine, you know? If you can only take one trade based on whatever's happening in your life, we take what we can get at the time. There's going to be more opportunities. How was everybody's week otherwise? Besides today, because today was pretty nice, to say the least. Huh. Might be setting us up for something interesting next week. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on that. It might give us the same setup that I took this morning on the 30-minute. The 50 fib level is not exactly where I would want it. Although granted, you would probably want to get filled at the 61 fib with the lower low instead of the higher low. I'll keep an eye on this. Let me put an alert here. Was that 942? Probably won't come back, but we'll see. For those who are just coming in, welcome. Let me know if you can see me and if you can hear me, well, and see my screen as well. All right, we'll give it another 30 seconds and then we will start. As always, I require at least 50% participation. So if you have not yet hit the thumbs up button or the like button, please go ahead and do so. Need at least 50% participation. Cool. We are 5 minutes in. Welcome, everybody. This is the Community Trade Recap and Assisting Traders session, Friday, December 20th, 2024. For those who may be new here, we have these every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can bring your trades and I'll review them for you, give you feedback, and I'll go over my trades, and we'll all learn together. As always, I'm not a financial advisor, so anything that we go over in this video or any of my content is not financial advice. Trading does have its risks, so please do your due diligence before you engage in trading. With all that being said, didn't do much today. Pretty chill week for me. I only took 2 trades futures-wise. Options, I closed some swings. Other than that, didn't really do much this week. No issues, thankfully. So today, I didn't do much either. I just took 1 trade. The idea for the trade that I took, let me actually go on the bigger screen so we can see it a little clearer. I took a W retracement model on the 30-minute time frame. Let's bring up extended hours so we can see this a little better. So once I saw this W print that was forming pre-market, did miss the initial move up, even though I wouldn't have taken it because the stop loss to the first target is a little too wide for me. So instead, what I did was just wait for the retest. That'll retest in the center area. So what I did here was I got my fib level, or my fib tool rather. I got this low, and then I connected it to this wicks high. If we are going to retest, it's either going to come down to the 50 or the 61 fib. I know, or 61.8 or 62 fib if you want to round up. I know ICT traders usually prefer the 62 fib. However, for this specific model for me, once I get a W and I draw my fib level, if the 50 fib level matches up with the center of the W, at least in that area, I'll just have a buy order sitting right over here, which is pretty much what I did today. I got in to visually show you guys what the trade looks like. I had a buy order, so as soon as this candle closed, I drew my fib from here to here, and then I just had a buy order sitting at the 50 fib level. My stop loss was down at the 70 fib level, about 48, 50 points away. Granted, I just left it at 48. And my target was this high right over here at this wick. Generally, the target that I aim for is going to be this high over here. So right over here. But, excuse me. However, I didn't really care to stay on too long today, and 74 to 80 points was more than enough for me, which I would be happy with. So once I hit this target over here at around 74, 80 points, I pretty much got off for the day, basically done in the first 10 minutes, and I went about my business. Hindsight 2020, though, as we can clearly see what happened if I would have left the runner for a little longer, we pretty much just had straight continuation candles all day. So I literally would have just had a runner that would have stopped me out at about 900 points and change. If I hit this with a runner, I would not talk to you guys for an entire month. But it is what it is. We'll get more trades. I'm grateful for what I made, so I can't complain. That would have been a nice one, though. But yeah, that's pretty much the only trade that I took today. And then I got off. I had a webinar that I was hosting with Tradefulness, which was nice for those who attended. But other than that, basically all I took today. Let's see. You guys have any questions on that before I move on and look at your trades? Cool. Let's look at this 15-minute orb. Let's go to regular trading hours for now. All right. Let's mark off these 15-minute levels. So, Isaiah, so you took this to the short side, right? You use a stop version for the 15-minute orb on MES. Gotcha. Personally, I wouldn't have taken it because I don't like this wick, and it closes a green bar, and we have a lot of buying pressure over here to the left. So personally, I wouldn't have taken this. I would probably waited for the retest version, which never came. Once we came down, we just bounced off that level and just reversed back up. So if there's a wick like that, I'm not taking that. I want more of a candle that's directional, right? I wouldn't really count. So let's say something like this, right? From, was this Thursday, Tuesday? This one, I don't think it would have played out. Yeah, it only went 2 points, so I would have been stopped out of this one. But I want a candle to look more like this, right? We have a strong candle, or actually, I wouldn't even have taken this one, even though it would have worked out. Whoops, this is the 15-minute candle. I thought it was the 5-minute. This one wouldn't have worked out for me personally. But even this, I wouldn't have taken to the short side because of this wick right here. There's too much buying pressure for me, and it's a gap up. So I wouldn't have even touched that. Anything that has a bigger wick than what I would prefer, I'm leaving it alone. But if the candle looks something like this, as the first 15-minute candle, even if I had like a wick up top, then sure, I'll take it to the downside. But with this wick like this, I'm not touching that. And with the wick on top, that just tells me that they're kind of just fighting in between those levels, trying to decide what they want to do. So I wouldn't touch that at all. Let's check the 5-minute. 5-minute, like we discussed earlier, similar to YM, it did close above that level with a really small displacement. I would have wanted it to be a little bigger. The retest version worked for this, in this case, to head back higher. I just wouldn't have taken it because it's not the version that I prefer. And like I've been cementing into your brains, you know, we're only here to take the absolute best setups. Even though this one would have been fantastic, I don't really care because it wasn't what I would have taken. So just something to note, if you do see a wick in the direction that you want to take it, the stop version is probably not the best version to take, unless it's more of a candle like this, where the wick is not that big compared to the candle overall. Does that make sense? Kia took SPY on the 5-minute, 10:35 a.m. For those who just came in, welcome. Whatever trades you want me to look at, put it in the chat so I can review it. I already went over my trades, so you'll have to just look at the recording to see what I went over. But whatever you guys want me to look at, definitely put it in the chat. Let's see. So you took the reversal at Kia. You're on the East Coast, right? Pretty sure you are. Sweet. So looks like you got in on this 212 up right over here, which is fantastic. I personally don't care for these trades, but good enough for me. Everything was in your favor. Everything was bullish. You were going with the trend. And you got out at 12, which would have been pretty much around here, like around this candle. Pretty much a fantastic trade. I did see the screenshot that you sent me, so great job on that trade. Couldn't have done better myself, if I do say so myself. So that trade, beautiful. And if you guys did miss this 2-1-2 continuation or this 3-up, which I would not take, and it's not really clean for me personally, there's a Momo hammer that printed right here on the 5-minute. So we get the big candle, the hammer that prints in the direction of the trend. You go long as soon as the next candle breaks that high. My stop loss would have been like this, where I would have had a stop loss under this hammer and then just target the previous candle highs. So this area there, there, so on and so forth. It looks like it almost hit the third target, and then it reversed on me. So it would have hit at least 2 targets, which would have been about $1 and change in our favor. I would have gotten out once price reversed on me, which one was 2-1-2 down for my runner or whatever, if I have any other contracts left. So I would have been stopped out, or I would have stopped myself out right over here as soon as this candle broke back to the downside. Of course, you can look at the higher time frame and just wait until the higher time frame reverses, which you would have caught a little more on the 15-minute. So you would have gotten out about 30, 40 cents more in profit for the contract. But yeah, great trade. Very, very nice. Welcome for people who just came in here. I'm going to take a quick little pause. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up or the like button so the algorithm knows that people like this. And I require 50% participation for these free classes and recaps that I have. So if you have not already, hit the thumbs up or the like button and we'll keep it moving. Great job, Kia. Fantastic work. All right, let's see. Mike took the TTO at 1040 on YM on the 5-minute. Technically, not a TTO because it didn't break the previous lows, but we'll accept it. I would consider it a TTO personally, just not in the traditional strat sense. Still a great trade nonetheless. For those who don't really know what he took, this double inside bar right over here, he took that next candle to the upside, targeting this high and the previous ones that we have to the left. So the first target would have been about, what's that, 40 points? Yeah, definitely very good on that trade. Time frame was in your favor. Pretty much everything was bullish. The 4-hour triggered a 3-up once it broke this level to the upside. So basically everything was bullish. Fantastic trade. Just took that continuation back into the time continuity. So great job on that one. You said you took one on RTY too, right, Mike? Definitely, David. So let's look for a cleaner. So this is not the best TTO, but I'll accept it. I'll give you an example. So let's go RTY. What was the TTO that you took, Mike? Was 11:15? It probably was around this pullback right here. Yeah, definitely not the cleanest TTO that I would like to take. It is a TTO nonetheless, just not one that I would take. It's too messy. It's just like it's kind of like getting chopped up here, and then they take it back higher. Let me show you a clean version, David, because this one is a little dirty, and I'd rather give you a proper version so you can study off or study. Let me bring this up real quick. All right, let's bring up Discord real quick. All right, so in the group, if you go to the playbook section, I have some TTO examples here. So we have this as an example. We have the TTO, when it pulls back, it's breaking previous lows, and the high of it broke previous highs. So we broke the previous lows and previous highs, and we're just taking the reversal back into time continuity. If there's a TTO with a hammer, I love those personally. 2-on-2 reversals, or even just regular 2-down 2-up reversals, perfectly fine. That's just some that I prefer. Like, for example, there's this one over here, another one. It breaks the previous low on this candle, broke this low. This candle broke this high, and then we have the 2-on-2 up reversal. You can take profit at the previous candle highs, or take profit once a TTO completes up here. If it's going to be a valid TTO, it is going to break that high and make a new high of day. And then I have some other examples. So then there's this one over here. Broke the previous lows. Right over here, the high of the TTO broke the previous highs. We get that 2-down 2-up reversal, and we aim for that peak or the previous candle highs. So there are many different variations of the TTO setup. I just prefer these. If they don't look like this, I am not going to take it. Again, we want to take the absolute best setups. And for me personally, if it does not look like this, I'm not going to take it. Let's go back to YM. I'll show you guys an example of a TTO, but I would not take it. So right here, you can consider this a TTO. We have the reversal, and then you take the reversal back up into time continuity. I would not touch this, one, because my entry and where the target would be, the TTO breaking, is like right there. It's like 9 points. And my stop loss is going to be down here. Of course, we're going to be aiming for price to continue moving up throughout the day, but just the TTO setup in and of itself, to me, it wouldn't be worth it to aim for that high, because it's a negative risk reward personally. So I wouldn't have bothered with it. I want more of a pullback. So it would be something like this. And then we head back higher. So this way, let's say if the reversal is up here, I can put my stop loss under the bottom right of the TTO. I can aim for the completion, and then I'll leave a runner to keep on heading higher if the trend continues. So you can see here, the risk reward is at least positive, where right here, the entry to the TTO being completed is basically garbage. Let me know if that made sense. Cool. Any other trades that you guys took that you want me to look at? And while you guys are typing that in, you can give me options trade, futures trade, stock trades, Forex trades, crypto trades. It honestly doesn't matter. I've traded it all. So I'll give you my feedback on whatever trades it is that you took. As you guys are typing that in the chat, reminder, for those who are not in my group, or those who may want to join the Discord or work with me, I'm earning a discount for the month, using the code December25 at checkout. It'll bring anything that I have here 30% off. One thing to note, the Discord access is $35, or with the discount about $24, $25, one-time payment. So you pay one time and you never pay again. Starting next year, whoever is not in the group, you'll be paying a monthly subscription. So if you join before the year is up, you will only pay one time and one time only. So if you do want to have more access to me, for those who watch my content, here's your chance. Only $25. I'm pretty sure you can make that up in different ways. Is it possible to scale out of futures and have a trail stop? Never traded futures. Yes. So depending on the platform that you use, you can have a trail stop. Like I use Tradeovate, and they have their trade automation, or the automated trade management, the proper term. They give you a lot of different options. So you can trail your stop. You can have it move your stop loss automatically in a fixed amount. Honestly, really, whatever you program the system to do, it's fantastic. If I do say so myself. Um, so definitely, if you haven't already, if I have a preferred platform, definitely. So what I use is Tradeovate. Tradeovate, the margin requirements are pretty low. Nothing too crazy. The platform is simple to use. I still use TradingView and Thinkorswim to chart. I only execute my trades on Tradeovate because I'd rather not draw all my broader informations and everything else on Tradeovate. So it's an easy to use platform in my experience, in my opinion. I do have a video on my YouTube channel. If you go to the trainings and walkthroughs, let me actually bring it up. So if you go to the playlist channel, or the playlists in my YouTube channel, and you go to trainings and walkthrough, I'll have a video, the discount, a video that goes over setting up Tradeovate, which is right over here. How to set up and use Tradeovate and other platforms as well. So you can look at that video, see how you like the platform, and if something that you enjoy, definitely go ahead and use it. I definitely love it. Super easy to use. Inputting the trades is instantaneous, so it makes it really easy. And I'm all about efficiency. So, I'll have one screen with Tradeovate or TradingView up, and then another with Tradeovate up just to execute my trades. Makes it a lot easier. And if you've never traded futures, I believe in that same the discount code that in the same playlist, there should be a video here for futures. Where did I put it? I know there's a video that I have, Intro to Futures. There we go, Introduction to Futures Trading. Let me actually, I have to edit this. So yeah, Introduction to Futures Trading. If you're not sure what futures are, definitely look into that. Let me just add it to the playlist so it's in there. Sweet. Cool. All right. Generally, I don't like keeping it off topic trade-wise and going over other material, but I am in a great mood today. So you guys, we'll have a Q&A for 15 minutes. Whatever you guys want to ask me, we'll just have a Q&A, or if you want me to look at trades, whatever you guys want for the next 15 minutes. And then we'll go enjoy our weekend. Looking forward to seeing you in there, here to learn. Something to note, my group is not a signals group. We're not going to spoon feed you trades. My aim is to make self-sufficient traders. So if you do want to be self-sufficient, we'll be supporting you every single step of the way and teaching you what I do, what everybody else does, But if you're looking for me to spoon feed you trades, my group is not for you. So any questions you guys have, any trades you want me to look at, put it in the chat. Anything goes, any questions at all, I am open to it. What is the 2022 model? I'm surprised he doesn't know. Any questions you guys have, put it in the chat. Any issues you're having in your trading, any guidance you may want, no judgment at all, and I'll give you feedback. If nothing in the next 2 minutes, we'll wrap up and enjoy our weekend. How often do you go live to do this? So this specifically, the trade recap and assisting traders, I do it every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, I do this. In my group, we live trade every Tuesdays and Fridays in the morning. Sometimes I'll live trade additional days. I just prefer to focus when I'm trading because people like to ask questions and I get distracted, which is fine. You know, I'm going on live, so I'm going to expect questions. So you're more than welcome to ask questions as we trade live. We also have more classes similar to this in the group. So we'll have 4 to 5 classes or 3 to 5 classes every week in the group outside of these public ones that I have for everybody that's not in my group. I traded Microsoft today short. It was actually one of my favorite long setups because price bounced off a daily BF. It printed a 2-2 bull rev on the 30-minute and a failed 2-down hammer on the hour. I'm a little confused. You took it short, but it was a bullish setup? Yeah, Kev, you're 32 minutes late, but you know you can catch the recording. You're welcome to put your trade in the chat if you want me to look at it. We still got time. It printed a 2-2 bullish rev on the 30-minute. What time did you take that trade, David? Is that a failed 2-down? You pretty much took this reversal to the upside, this hammer 2 up. Did you take a long or did you take puts? It really depends here to learn. Mainly for futures, I do trade options live as well, but one thing to note on the lives, I don't talk much during the lives unless people ask me questions since I like to focus. Generally, I just show you guys what I'm doing futures wise. I mainly live stream the Dow Jones or the YM for futures or RTY, but you can take trades based off the futures contract for options. Like for YM, you can trade DIA options or for RTY, you can trade IWM options. Pretty much the same chart. So the same setups that I'll take here, you can translate to options. David, if you're still here, I'm confused because you said short, but it's a long setup. So trying to get some clarity. Would you just trade it with the stop loss? And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Well, I'm still trying to figure out what trade did we take? Did we take a short or did we take a long? Was this a long trade or a short trade? Because you said you took it short, but it was your favorite long setup. I'm still trying to get some clarity before I can answer your question. Oh, gotcha. I'll type it in the chat so you can see it. The connection is a little crappy up there from what I remember when I used to drive up there. Definitely enjoy it. Ah, you took it short because I had to hide supply zones over top of it, so I thought I was going to hit that zone and drop. As a general rule of thumb, that like Rob Smith says, to know who's in control at that very moment, look at the 1 hour. If the 1 hour is bullish, bulls are in control, and vice versa for the shorts. So if you were in a short trade, I would have gotten out as soon as the 1 hour reversed on me, which was right here. And then you could have just reversed the trade and taken it to the long side, and it would have been really nice. But even then, on the 30-minute, depending when you got in, it looks like it hit some targets if we look to the left. So if you got in that market open, it filled this gap. That could have been one target. And then these lows as other targets if you're trading the strat anyway. And we have a reverse kit in play here. Wild. How to not let price action shake you out and where to take profit or to stay in for the final targets. JG, what strategy do you trade? And while you're answering that question, JG, David, if you can hear me, hopefully the connection is good now. I just get into the trade and just wait. If it's a stop loss, it is what it is. If it's a target, even better. Not much to do after you get into the trade, but wait. Ah, Pyro, welcome. You have like 5 different usernames. How to not let price action shake you out and where to take profit. Well, let me ask you, based on what you've gone over, where do you think you should take profit for the strat? Because this is a question you should know. I just still get nervous if the live candle starts going the opposite of my trade. Haven't answered the question yet. For the strat, what do we use as targets? I'm not going to let you get past that one. These are strat basics. What are the strat targets that we use? Yep, previous candle highs and lows and broadening formations. So if you get nervous when the candle is still live and it's going against you, just don't look at the chart. Because it doesn't matter how much you look at the chart and you stare at the screen, it's not going to make it go up to your target or your stop loss any faster. You already did your job as a trader. Your only job now is just to wait. And if you get too emotional by looking at the chart, just set your alerts and hide the screen and just wait until something goes off. And then let's see what's going on. In the sense of how to hold trades longer for the final targets, just look at what price action is doing. Let's say, for example, today on IWM, so let's assume that you got in on the 3-2 up on the, let's go on the 15-minute actually. Let's say you got in on this 2-1-2 up or 3-1-2 up on the 15-minute. So your stop loss is probably under this 2 or under this 1 candle. I got in on the tweezer in the middle of the M. You took this 2-1-2 up over here. So this 2-1-2 up, you took to the upside. Where was your stop loss? Was your stop loss under the 1 or under the Doji 2 candle here? Bottom of the 1? Cool. That's where I would have put it for the specific trade as well, just to give a little more room. And were you aiming for high of day up here as your max target? Or was there a broadening formation that was somewhere? So what targets were you aiming for? I was aiming for the previous high on the 5-minute. Did you get what time frame did you enter the trade on? Was it the 5-minute or the 15-minute? Oh, well, it looks like the 5-minute had a tweezer as well. Oh, all right. Good learning opportunity. If you are taking a trade off the 15-minute, do not go to a lower time frame. That doesn't make sense. Unless you're trading another type of strategy, it makes 0 sense to go on the 15-minute and look for setups in the 5-minute or targets in the 5-minute when you have your targets right here. Unless I'm getting it on the 4-hour, then sure, maybe I'll go on the 1-hour and look for additional targets if the 4-hour is too far away. Because in this case, for the 15-minute, you have one target there, another target here, and then, of course, another target here, the body or the wick, whatever you want to use, honestly. It doesn't really matter. So we can see here on the 15-minute time frame, we hit 3 targets. If we go on the 5-minute, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 targets. So you're going to run out of contracts a lot faster if you go on the lower time frame because there's more targets. So generally, unless it's the 4-hour trigger that I'm taking, I'm not going to look for targets in the 5-minute because I'm doing myself a disservice. Your risk reward changes because now the targets are closer than normal. So if you're on the 15-minute, I probably wouldn't go under that to look for targets. Just stick to the 15-minute. You have your targets laid out right here. So in this case, you would, let's say you have 4 contracts. So you're taking one off here, second one there, third one there, and then for the 4th one, to wait for the other targets to hit, as we can see here, price reversed, I would have moved my stop loss behind the candles every time they close once it hits a target. So for example, so we can see a visual example. Let's bring this back and let's bring out this real quick. So once we started hitting targets, I'm going to bring my stop loss up or even move it to break even once I hit one target, and then I'll just wait until the candle closes. Cool, the candle closes, now I'm just going to wait. That's all I'm going to do. The stop loss for the rest of my position is at break even, so it's not a losing trade. Now, as we can see here, this candle started hitting more targets. So I'll take a second contract off, and then I'm going to wait until the candle closes. Then I'm going to move my stop loss either to target 1 right here. So if price comes back down, I'm going to get out completely at target 1. Or if you want to do it based on price action, I'm going to move my stop loss according to the candles. So once this candle closes, I'm putting my stop loss right under this. So if price reverses and hits that low, I'm getting out. Let's fast forward a bit. So as we can see here, as soon as this candle hit the third target, I would have taken a contract off and then waited for this candle to close. However, it stopped me out right over here. I'll give you another example. Let's say you got in on this 2-1-2 up. Your stop loss was down here. Hits the first target, second target, third target, etc. Waits for the candle to close for my runner positions. Move the stop up. Cool. This candle, boom, continuation. Take some more profit. Candle closes, moving my stop loss here. Same thing for all these candles. They're just triggering 2 up. They have not reversed yet. So I should not be getting out of this trade at all. There's nothing that's telling me to get out the trade. Just straight 2 up continuations. Candle closes, move the stop loss up. Candle closes here, move the stop loss up, so on and so forth, until all the way up here where price finally reversed. So if I got in all the way down here, there's 2-1-2 up, my runner would have caught 2.5 points. This is easily more than 150% trade on IWM, especially with a 0 DTE, which I really don't prefer to trade. But even a 1 DTE, that's 100% trade or more right there. Just letting the chart keep you in. Does that make sense? Did it clear it up for you? Cool. Which one? The one from this morning or the one in the afternoon, the 3-1-2 down? Or did you get it on the 3-1-2, or did you mean the 3-1-2 up? Gotcha. I personally don't like it myself just because it's not my setups. No, you're good. No need to apologize. But yeah, great work. You've been doing fantastic. If anybody wants to master broadening formations, hit up Pyro. He's the master BF individual. He'll literally hold trades from one BF to the other. Shout out to him. So it closed below the BF line. And that's okay. Like I always tell you, if there's a BF here, like if there's a BF that's like this, I'm not going to take that trade myself because the trigger is at a broadening formation. I'm not doing that. I'd rather it be bouncing off a BF like this, but I'm not going to take it if the trigger is like right at the BF level. Absolutely. Thank you for that. And, that's really what I'm here for. I'm here to support you guys and make sure that you guys stay on track and shine light, I would say, on what you may not see yourself. Because the bad habits are really going to keep you, what's the word? The bad habits are going to stagnate your growth. And I'll do everything that I can to make sure that you guys see it and that you correct them. And the better and the quicker we can take care of them, the better you're going to be as you continue trading. It's been what, like a month since we started working together, if I recall correctly? I think it's been like a month. And you're taking your own trades ready. You're doing great. The progress you've made is fantastic. Keep going. I think it's been a month. Time definitely does fly. All right, let's look at Keb's earnings trade. I'm actually curious. Let me bring this up real quick. Yeah, pretty much a month and change. Good stuff. All right, let's look at this earnings trade. So we got FedEx. He got in at 8:30 Central Time or 9:30 Eastern. I took a short at 8:30 at 295. Oh, basically just took the short immediately at market open. Exited at 276. All right, Mr. Catch the top and catch the bottom. I'm jealous. Great work on that trade. Let's see. So I will personally give this trade a failing grade because one, you said you were rolling the dice, which basically means you were gambling. And I don't know who you learned that from because I never taught you that. Cool that you made money. Although I don't like when you guys make money on poor trades because it's going to train your brain to be like, well, I kind of gambled on this but made money. Let me do it again next time. And what ends up happening is that you might win 2 or 3 in a row. And then you're like, cool, I'm making money. Let me put even more size. And then that one time you put more size, you like double or triple your size, you lose the trade and you give all your profits back. So definitely give that a poor rating on the trade. If it's a ER setup that like JR and 100K teach, I don't know it, but if you followed what they have, like whatever their prerequisites are, then hey, great job on the trade, fantastic work. I just don't trade that specific model, so I can't really give insight into it. I'm just referencing or reviewing it based on the words that you use. But yeah, if it was the ER model, great work. That was like a 20-point catch. Was it a 0 DTE? Sweet. Yeah, and those zeros go crazy. Especially, hold on, let me look up one of the contracts. What put did you choose? What was the strike price? I want to pull this up and see which one. Hopefully it's still there. Should be since it's Friday. You remember the strike price that you took? You forgot. My heart is hurting. I'm gonna need you to journal that. Give me an estimate. Was it like in the 280s, in the 270s, 290s? Two 80s? All right, let's look at this. So he pretty much held it for 30 minutes. So if it was 280, you paid anywhere between $250 to $400 and change. And it went to a peak of 935. Basically, depending when you got in, that was either a 100% trade, a 200% trade, or a 400% trade, or 300% trade. So 300% trade on the 280s. Very nice, sir. Not bad. Even though I don't condone this gambling behavior. Yeah, pretty much got IV flushed in the beginning. If you did catch me at the bottom, about 250, 275, that was a good return. I'll definitely be happy to turn 275 into 900 in 30 minutes. So good stuff. I've heard and seen some traders buy short and long calls at the same time. Is that for big runners like that, so they only lose what they paid for on the cons while still getting good profit? Pyro, that depends. That can be different strategies. Like the more advanced ones where they'll like buy a call and then short another thing, like either as a spread. If there's the same, it'll be like a debit spread or put spread. I think either an iron condor or one of the more advanced option strategies that I'm not really too versed in since I don't trade them. Or are you asking like people that buy a put and a call like separate and see which one wins? Gotcha. So the spreads, you would essentially buy a call and then sell another strike price at the same time. So it could be like a debit spread or a credit spread if you're selling the premium. For the more advanced ones, like if it's like a call and a put, I think that falls under like iron condors or butterflies or maybe even strangles. For those who trade those, you're welcome to correct me if I'm wrong. I don't trade those strategies, so I can't really speak too much about them. But for spreads, spreads are generally the same direction. So it'll be like a vertical call spread, right? So you'll buy one call and then you'll sell another to minimize your risk. But you also, in a sense, can minimize your gain. I haven't traded spreads in a really long time. I think maybe like a year and a half or 2 years. Mainly because I'm like, well, I already know what I'm doing, and the spreads, while I'm making good money on them, I'll make even more by just buying the option in and of itself, either a call or a put. But hey, if spreads work for you or anybody else, keep it going. Whatever works, works. Cool. All right. We got 2 minutes. Thank you guys for coming out and sharing with me your trades. For those who are in my group and 100Ks group, Chart and Chill tomorrow at 11 a.m. Bring your trades, bring your ideas, bring what you learned this week, and we'll talk about it. Other than that, remember, for those who are not in my group and they want to join my group, you can join with the link in the chat. Whoops. You can join in the link in the chat. If you use the code December24, it'll give you 30% off. So it's about $24, $25 to join the group. One-time payment, never again, or whatever else you may want to do. Either get the mentorship with me, anything else, so on and so forth. Take advantage because it does end at the end of the month. And if you join my group after the year ends, you'll be paying a monthly subscription. So enjoy your night, everybody. Thanks for coming out, and we'll speak soon. Take care.